Real life street stars, man. We have a special, very special occasion. Very special occasion. We have Dominique in the building, aka also known as Tooka's mother. Fresh off the plane, I'm assuming today, right?
Yes.
Fresh off the plane.
Fresh.
I'm curious. How have you flying? Is that something you do often?
No,
Is
not
this
at all.
This is your which flight? Your third flight in life?
Yeah, fourth. I'll say about the fourth. Yeah.
Man, is
Chicago so beautiful? Just like you just like I don't want to go nowhere else.
No, it's just
like I'm good. We're good here. Fuck it.
it's just like I work. So I mean, by the time it's time for me to take flight, it's time for school to start back. So you know what I'm saying. But I like taking flight.
how many vacation hours you got saved up? You got 375 hours.
Wait, have you ever been on vacation?
Yes.
Okay.
I've been on the cruise before. Then I took my grandmother to Vegas for her birthday.
That's all you need. Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone's overrated.
Chilling, yeah.
Cruise in Vegas, everyone's overrated.
Exactly. But since this Corona stuff started, so you know the COVID stuff.
So nobody ever tried to hit the DM and just fly you out like, man, come on, Tulum, I got you.
Nah.
Nobody tried to do that to you?
I don't have DM really.
I'll take you over to Milwaukee. We'll take you over to Gary real quick. We ain't gonna go too far.
They gonna take me to Stony Island. They gonna tell me they gonna take me to Stony Island. They ain't gonna try to fly me nowhere now.
Yeah, for real. Man, so for those that are deaf, dumb, stupid, been living under a rock, man, that may not know your story, man. First and foremost, reintroduce yourself. And then, if you don't mind, letting us know as far as your story, as far as how you grew up in Chicago and things like that. I want to start with that first.
My name is Dominique. I am Tooka's mom. I've been in Chicago all my life. I pretty much grew up with a strict family. I was the only child. My mama was the only child, so. Pretty much my grandmother's parents raised me. I was raised by my great-grandparents, but
oh wow,
I had other cousins in the house with me that they had also raised along with me. So
now I noticed you didn't mention your father.
He was in my life, but he didn't stay in the household with me. My stepfather raised me.
Okay, there you go.
You say you actually grew up with your great-grandparents?
Yeah.
What are some of the, because grannies and great-grannies, but with them, they've actually experienced some wild things. What is one of the stories or lessons that they told you about from back in the day?
Ooh, the slavery days, they war days. That's pretty much like trying to survive coming from Mississippi to Chicago, adapting
trying to get from the south to the north.
Yeah, that type of stuff like that. So yeah.
Definitely. And no brothers, no sisters. So you were
not on my mom's side.
Okay, not your mom's side, but
your dad,
my dad. Papa was a Rolling Stone.
True.
I get it. So for you, as far as how was growing up in the shop for you, as far as coming up? I only personally got a chance to go out there one time, so I'm gonna be speaking from a person who hasn't really been into Chicago, the South Side, North Side, East or West. I kind of just take in what everyone else speaks on Chicago. So how was it for you? In your adolescence growing up,
Oh, well, I had a good childhood. We used to play Rock Teacher. We used to play Run Red Rover.
Oh yeah, talk about it. They don't play that no more.
For real,
they don't play that no more.
They don't know nothing about Rock Teacher. They don't know nothing about how you gonna make a game and make it popular off of a rock, just holding the rock in your hand.
Holding the rock in your hand. And it's crazy because Red Rover might not even get played in school because they like no contact. They don't want kids to touch each other too hard.
We had jump rope competitions. We play pole to pole. We got to jump off one pole and get to the next pole.
That's not kind of lit. That's not kind of lit.
Yes, I had a wonderful childhood. Yes.
Definitely. It's always that point where a child, being with your mother, when you start acting a little unruly, just maybe staying out a little later than you supposed to, maybe talking to a little boy or something.
No.
Did you do that early on, or you kind of?
No, I waited till later on because I lost my mama at an early age. My mama got poisoned. She went into a coma when I was 8. She stayed in the coma for 2.5 years. So she was 11 when she passed.
She got poisoned. was it purposeful or was it by
She
accident?
went out, that part, she went out for a drink and somebody put something in her drink.
And you said she was comatose for 2.5 years?
Yes.
What hospital, or where did they have her located?
Edgewater Nursing Home.
Wow.
Also, that's New Jersey.
No, it's in Chicago, but it's up north.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What was that time for you as far as just, because I know you probably, staying in prayer and trying to hope things go for the worst. What were the doctors saying? Like, what the outlook was?
Well, I was too young to understand what it was. I just knew that every day after school that me and my grandma had to go up there to the, nursing home. My grandma was a nurse, so she had to tend to my mother, like clean her little trays and clip her nails and, do the grooming and stuff. That was her only child, so
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, that's honestly, I've never even heard of someone getting poisoned before. I never heard that happening. So that's, man, condolences. So with that being said, again, I know you said your grandparents raised you on. It's funny because we have a little more respect for the grandparents.
Yes,
You really don't want to set the grandparents because they got high expectations. So of course you said you waited till you out of the house, out of high school. Did you graduate or?
No, I wasn't out of the house. I just was acting out, I would say, because everybody had moved out the house. Once my grandfather passed, everybody had moved their own separate ways. So it was just me in the house by myself.
There you go. Now I totally get it. Upon getting out, for the world, what they know of, your son. First and foremost, I want to ask, how many children did you have?
When Tooka got killed, I only had 3. But now I have another baby now.
Oh,
I have another baby.
There you go. Yeah, keep the train rolling.
Yeah,
Keep the train
yeah, so 1 year old.
rolling. Who was your first?
My oldest son, his name is Devon. We call him Pooh Man. He is 29 years old.
Okay. And of course, I will see 2011 is when Tooka passed. Tooka will be how old right about now?
Tooka will be going on 27 this year.
27. Oh, wow. So I would ask, because again, this is an American story that we're about to tell as far as, just coming up in Chicago for yourself. With your first son, and also Tooka with his father, were you married? Was it a long-term relationships? Was it just kind of like, hey, I gotta deal with this kind of solo dolo?
I was in a relationship with my first son's father and my daughter's father for a long period of time. He got incarcerated, and that's where Tooka father came and played at.
Okay. Definitely. Now, I want to kind of get your time, because again, I know you don't speak on this often, and again, I also have to thank you again for coming down here, even sitting down and talking with us. The story of like your son, the story of Chicago, it's almost to the point where we look at it as like a far off land. Like, a lot of people, look at it like what's going on in Chicago from Texas as something that's just, you kind of read about it, be like, is this really happening up here? Is this really going on?
No, Shondell Jonathan Gregory, a.k.a. Tooka, was born August 10, 1995. My child was a normal kid. He was just being a kid. He went to school. He had friends. He liked it doing, extracurricular activities, in the neighborhood, like going to the grocery store for people, taking their groceries out. Taking their garbage out, doing little odds and ends. He was a respectful person, you know what I'm saying? So this person they tried to portray him to be, that wasn't my son at all. That was not him at all. He don't even have a record. He's never even been arrested, so how he become non-arrested to this big high-time murderer all of a sudden?
I always, the Chicago thing is one of those things where it's kind of like, because your son died at 15, correct? Mm-hmm. My son is 14, right? And I look and I say, well, damn, how young? It just, off of Tooka for a minute, just Chicago in general. How young are these kids getting into this lifestyle? Because, you know, when you see the Chief Keefs and the other people, these kids were like 14 when they actually blew up, right? So it's like, damn, how young are they getting into the streets? You know what I mean? Like,
My
from
son
not your son, just in general from
these
Chicago.
kids in the streets, see, that's where I think the family needs to step in, because once you see, like my family, once my boys started taking a step in the wrong direction, I had cousins and uncles that was, you know, no, you got to do this and, you know, stay on them about, like, no, we can do this as men, we do that as men. These kids don't have that structure. You see what I'm saying? And although I'm a single mother and my kids came from a single mother household, they didn't act like it.
I see. With Tooka, did he ever explain to you as far as what he wanted to do growing up or what he wanted to be? Did he show any interest?
He said he wanted to be a lawyer.
A lawyer. He
A
wanted
lawyer.
to fight the cases.
I always wanted to be a lawyer.
Nah, definitely. I'm curious. You know.
Yeah.
You know how you know definitely of how that Perry Mason again.
I know, right?
Where were you living at this time? As far as just in 2008, 2009, 2010.
I had just moved out of condo on 56th and Calumet.
Okay.
One of my friends had hooked me up with the owner of the building where we stayed at on 63rd Street in St. Lawrence. Well, 64th in St. Lawrence or whatever. So, I mean, we moved over there. We are literally from the low end. We not from over there. You see what I'm saying? But once he started, you know, mingling and stuff, it took a long time for us to, you know, get to where we was with them. But once they started mingling and stuff, you know what I'm saying, then he started hanging with the kids from around there.
Yeah, as any child.
As
should.
any child would, you know what I'm saying? They be standing in the middle of the street playing slap boxing. They might go against another block or some stuff like that, but it was never no up in no poles. I mean, you know, them guns. It was never none of that. It was always throwing them hands. And my son was a beast when it came to them hands. I ain't gonna even lie.
Yeah, and we were talking about it too. It's like, it seemed like it went from, you know, everybody fighting, you could get jumped all
Scared
that,
to get beat up.
and then it turned somewhere where it was like, all right, we're not doing no more fighting. It's all about shooting. So I'm curious from you know, for you, when did you find out, like that day that your son got killed? Like, when did you find out? How did you find out?
Take your time with it. Definitely take your time.
My son had got suspended from school. He had an altercation with a teacher, a security guard. So he kept begging me, Mama, I want to go back to school. Mama, I want to go back to school. I had people that I worked with downtown. So prior to that, my oldest son, he started hanging with his little crowd. And they started getting into trouble. So one time he got in trouble, there wasn't nothing I could do to help him. So he had to go to boot camp. The way I raised my kids, because of me losing my mama at an early age, is y'all hold on to each other no matter what, because y'all got.
Very true. Very true. You instilled that into him early on.
I had kept instilling my boys this, that, and the other. Took them to counseling. We went to I went to parent classes. I did everything I could. So once my oldest son got in trouble and went to boot camp, because he was the man of the house. Then it was time for Tooka to step up because his brother was gone. So I got a little daughter. I got a daughter, and that's all he wanted to do, you know. My brother gone, because they, you know, they took care of their little sister. So he felt that was his, you know, that was his responsibility now. So I go get him, he get kicked out of school or whatever for getting into it with the security guard. I get him back in school. So that day he came home from school, he told me, he said, you know what, Mama? He said, I just want to say thank you. He said, because a lot of these parents, they're not going to get their kids back in school. He said, but you took time. You got, you know, your connects and got me back in school so I could get my education. He said, I just want to say thank you. He told me, he said, I'm gonna do right. He said, I'm gonna show you that what you did ain't gonna go unnoticed. He said, cause I don't want to end up in jail like my brother, and I don't want you to have to bury me. If I ain't like I had to bury my baby. He had went to school. His first day back, after me getting him back in. So I'm on the phone with him because I'm the type of parent, they old enough, I had to get them ready over the phone because I'm already at work. I'm getting them ready for work. Come on, you gotta go to school, Wop the Rim, you've been doing good, you've been doing good. He's okay, Mama. Woo. He get up, take his little sister to school. He go to school. Some way, somehow, I don't know. We get into it with a teacher or something. So they sent him home or whatever. He didn't go, he didn't come home. He stayed around because he had a wrestling match. So he called me. He said, Mom, I'm on my way home. I'm on my way home. He said, I won my wrestling match, Mama. I'm on my way home. I talked to my son. That was at 6:04. 8 at night. I get a phone call 8 minutes later, my son dead. I'm like, how? I just got off the phone with him. I like, that's how we do. That's how we knew to call you. I'm like, that ain't my son, that ain't my son. That somebody got his phone. So they described on the phone, they didn't even say he was dead, they just said he got shot multiple times. They didn't even tell my son was dead. So by the time I get on the scene, my son just laying there. I'm just trying to get to my baby because I know he wants his mama. I had never thought at me sending my baby out for school would be the last time I see my son. He was just laying on that cold ground, and I was just studying, trying to get to him. But they wouldn't let me get to my baby to help him.
Did you have anyone with you at the time?
My family, they had met me over there. They had met me over there. And I just couldn't believe it. Like, my body was in shock. The police, and them just steady trying to pull me back, because I'm steady trying to get over there to my son, because I'm just like, let me just see him. They like, you don't want to see him like that. Like, I had busted my knees. I had busted my elbows from them holding me back. The zipper print was around my neck. And I didn't feel it till 2 weeks later. He was just an average kid, trying to live life as a kid should.
Right.
He was where he was supposed to be. Ain't no such thing, he was at the wrong place. No, he was at the bus stop coming home.
Did the police ever catch?
They trying to make it seem like my son is like this powerful person. They trying to make it seem like he like a Herb Gotti or some Larry Hoover or something, like he just this powerful gang member or some stuff, you know. They say, the police told me, well, don't nobody want to cooperate with us. Don't nobody want to give us no information because he was this powerful person. And the streets want their revenge, they self, they don't want to, you know, the police help. That's wrong. Because around there, St. Lawrence, like I say, that's where we moved to. My son, he played with all them around. You know, they grew up together around there. So when they came up with the Tooka gang and the Tookaville, that made the police feel like we ain't got to do our job because he a gangbanger. I'm still trying to find closure to this day. But, me talking about this violence over this nonsense. I don't want nobody else, I don't want no more kids to die. And I don't want no more mothers to grieve. So me talking to at least one person to get somebody to change that man and turn around, then I think I have done enough.
For you, you know, again, I don't know the culture of Chicago before you moved towards 63rd, 64th, and 65th in that area. I don't know kind of what was going on, but it seems as, you know, your son, and again, he has a name. Of course, Tooka is the moniker and the nickname, but he has a name.
Shondell.
There you go. And it seems as if the name Tooka now has transcended beyond beyond Chanel, beyond Chicago, beyond America. Your son's name is it's used as a precursor to the violence that young kids go through every day, and it seems like it started. I don't hear too many stories before Tooka. I don't hear that many stories before.
And that's my thing, because his guys, FBG Cash, they made a song up about him, which I found out later because my son didn't know nothing about this rap stuff. He don't know how to rap. He ain't got nothing to do with none of this mess. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just, they found a way to reverse it and to put it in a disrespectful manner. You know, his guys was saying it in a way, you know, to uplift his name. Right. And then these other ones just came to, you know, it's crazy. Like, I can't never stop grieving because every time I turn around, it's like he's being brought up. He's been gone 11 years. What could he do to y'all? Right. Why y'all can't leave him alone?
Right.
He can't do nothing to nobody. But
Yeah.
for some reason, they still feel like intimidated by him. I don't get it. Why they won't let him rest? Like, it was people dead before my son was dead. Why y'all can't talk about them? And my baby B. God.
Yeah. That's got to be, man.
It's hard.
And for whatever reason, Chicago is one of the cities that started, actually talking about people that aren't here anymore. Like, is that something that's always been going on, or did that,
They said it was going on with, not dissing dead people. I never heard that before. Like,
Right.
I never heard that until, like you say, my son. But then I don't listen to all that boppy bop music. I'm an old school kind of girl. I like my jazz and my, Luther Vandross and my little stuff like that, like Patti LaBelle and them. That's what Motown music. That's what I was raised up off of.
Right.
All this. I still to this day, I don't even know what this music. Like, how'd y'all killing each other over some daggone lyrics to a song? Like, stop dissing people dead. You know what I'm saying? Where and how does this industry accept these people doing that?
Right.
Like, these people don't have families out here, because I be wanting all the smoke. Soon as somebody say Tooka name, I want all the smoke.
Right.
What do you feel about the music industry, monetizing this situation and pushing this narrative? Because to me, they could just really stop it. If you mention someone's name, or if you do this kind of music, we would not promote it, we would not put it out.
Exactly. That's why I said it should start with the industry, but they so busy into making $1. Like, for a long time, people thought my son was a strand of weed, not knowing that he's an actual person. Because they came up with that song, Smoking on Tooka. That's not no weed, that's my son. That's what I brought in this world. That's what God gave me.
Yeah, I saw a lot of rappers not knowing his story and using that as a phrase, and then I seen him come back and retract and apologize. And I'm just curious as far as for you yourself, and we're gonna touch on it, but a lot has happened since then. The deaths seem to continue. Chicago is a war zone.
With this drill music stuff. What block can't go to this block, and like, since my son died, I told him I don't want no parts of it. You know what I'm saying? I would never want no parent, no mother, nobody to do and grieve what I'm doing. That's not right. When I was coming up, women and kids was off guards. You see what I'm saying? When I was coming up, you fought it out. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you get hit with a brick, you live to fight another day.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? This stuff they got going on there, it's like I say, it's beyond me. These kids, I remember we used to do cheers back in the days. These little girls don't know nothing about doing no cheers, none of that stuff. Like, it's just...
Now, I got, go ahead.
I'm curious because I always feel like a young 13, 14, 15-year-old impressionable boy, they move more so not for, of course for their friends, but also for girls. Are girls liking the guys who are on that type of stuff? The guy who's tougher, who are they catering to the guy who has guns on them and things like that? I mean,
it seems like they flocking to him. But my thing is, you could be you could be in the same predicament I'm in. You know what I'm saying? Then it's funny until it's one of theirs. You see what I'm saying? It's all funny games till it's one of theirs.
Yeah. Now I gotta ask about DJ Academics. They had a thing called War in Chiraq, and that's how I would say a lot of the outside world got brought into Chicago. What was your take on, I don't know if you ever were familiar with him, but he actually like kind of documented all of the things that were happening in Chicago, from the deaths, the dissing, and all that. Did you catch that at all?
No, I'm not familiar with that. No,
Gotcha.
I don't follow none of that mess. Like, people entitled to their opinions and stuff, but I just can't get, with the dissing.
Right.
When my son, I'm talking about on every social media, I don't care where you go, it's dissing Tooka, dissing Tooka, dissing Tooka. Like, dig, like, when could I get a chance to grieve?
Right. So with that, I know, I think it was last year you came out and actually
Yes.
vocalized that. Has there been anybody that actually reached out to you and was like, you know what, I'm sorry? Because we did see, I think Lil Durk say he's going to stop.
Yeah.
We saw some people say they were going to stop. Have they actually made that attempt, or are they just...
I don't even listen to that type of music. I don't listen to that drill music, none of that stuff at all. I'm sorry. It's too draining. And I can't give it my energy because I have a whole 1-year-old that needs me.
There you go.
I got a 1-year-old that needs me now, so I can't keep feeding off into that negative energy because then he gonna be feeding my son, feed off into my energy, and I don't want to never have no negative vibes around him.
So, I mean, it seems like, you know, when the energy is around you, it seems like, you know, you have, you know, what they call O Block. Again, I'm not from Chicago, so I kind of just hear what they call these things. And you see an artist like Lil Durk, King Von, who grow in stature, and therefore, like you said, the word ops is used. And they're making what you call, I guess, more commercial music. So, but their upbringing was off of what was going on in Chicago. Do you feel like, in you, do you feel anything when you hear them on a commercial level?
I
Knowing
used
that their
to.
upcoming was...
I used to be very emotional, cry. Be ready to throw the radio or some stuff like that, but it's them the ones that's keeping my baby alive. You know what I'm saying? Keeping his name alive, because if it wouldn't be for them, Tooka wouldn't be no legend like he is now. He was a 15-year-old kid. Now he's a 27-year-old legend who's been gone 11 years. Not here to do nothing to no one.
How was your emotions during the funeral? Was it open for the public? Was it more so just close friends and family?
No, it's open for everybody.
Okay.
It's open for everybody.
Yeah, no, you know, and I hate to say it, but what you're doing now, as far as the movement you're pushing, even coming here to speak on it.
Mothers of Peace,
Yeah,
yes.
the
Mothers of Peace, yes.
It's almost, I was watching a movie or show that just came out about Emmett Till, and it's called it's called something, but it's about the mother of Emmett Till, you know, of what happened after Emmett Till's situation. And I see your movement kind of the same way as with your son, you know, with Lashina, FBG Duck's mother, with Denisha, Mama Snoop's, or Mama Snoop, for Lil Snoop's mother. For what is going on with that situation and kind of what y'all doing, as far as there was a situation with Emmett Till trying to change social injustice, and it's a situation what y'all are going through as far as, you know, losing children to senseless gun violence, to try to create a new narrative. I want to ask, as far as Tooka's name, is it, do you have ownership of it as far as his estate, as far as if anybody ever reached to you to do either documentaries?
No,
doing a
I've been
movie?
trying to get in touch with people to help me do that type of stuff. So, you know, these people just, I mean, I don't care about the money. I don't. I just want them to just stop saying his name. Just let him be. It's other stuff out here that, you know, other stuff. I just don't want his name. I don't want them to diss the dead no more. No dead homies, period. They should be over gods anyway. You know what I'm saying? Over gods. That's just how I feel.
For those who actually just want to support you, Tooka, the family, or just keep his name alive and honor him, what is the proper way to do that, in your opinion?
Like, reach out to me, get to know me. Just don't go off of what social media is saying about Tooka. Oh, well, yeah, that's his mama and this, that. Right, I'm his mama, and I'm gonna stick, whether my child right or wrong. I never been the one that said my child was an angel, but I know my child wasn't no killer.
Yeah. Right. And I have to ask, because, you know, I'm a father, but I have a sister who lost her son. You know, he was 16, shot at a house party a couple of years ago in Allen. You know, her name is Jocelyn. His name is Markel. When it comes to mothers getting in front of cameras, telling their stories, because the news seem to run and they want to speak. You know, there's a lot of people speaking, but the news wants to put the media attention on the mother and have y'all speak. For a while, you didn't speak in front of the cameras. You didn't give the story. And what do you see it as far as when people either one see you in front of the camera telling the story, or either not seeing you in front of the camera telling the story?
I say it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both because some people want to hear the truth about Shondell. Then you got the people that's gonna take this and use it for their own perception of what they see it as, whether it's in a good way or a bad way.
Yeah. Do you feel, as far as it's been 11 years to the point to where, again, violence is still happening? As you said, you're really, I don't know if do you become immune to, or not immune, but you become like, it's not as shocking when you hear another death in Chicago of another young child, or it still hits you the same way?
It still hits me the same way. It still hits me the same way. And that's why our Mothers of Peace movement, we all lost our kids in different ways, but it's that pain and that grief that brings us together, and the love that we have for each other that brings us together so we can embrace each other, you know, and be there for one another doing this, so we can be able to speak to other people, you know, to try to help them get their kids, you know, some help, whatever you gotta do. If Lil Ray Ray in your house with that gun, get Lil Ray Ray up out of there. Like, these parents nowadays want to be their kids' friends, if that makes sense.
Right, yeah.
I see it all. I see it every day.
Yeah, every day.
I never wanted to be my kid's friend. Never. And my oldest son is, like I said, 29. He don't curse in front of me.
Right.
He don't smoke weed in front of me. He don't do none of that.
And it's more so, I see a lot of mothers not wanting to upset their sons, really. Like, their daughters, they get on them, but they don't want to upset their sons because, you know, maybe the father figure isn't there. And they kind of use the son as the father figure of the house if there's other daughters around. So they don't want to do things to upset the son, so therefore they do become more friendly with the son. But how do you tell a young Ray Ray who does, you find a gun in his, you can't, I don't see you could kick him out to the streets because that's not the solution.
It's definitely not. Talk to him. Like, I had a counseling session with what was his name? Over there on 76th Street, but when we used to go over there, like, that was Tooka. When we used to go to, like, the counseling session, that was Tooka way of, you know, whatever I wouldn't listen to, he know he had Mr. Dwayne, them, you know, that he could talk to and get it out, because he know ain't no males in this house, so it just me, you, and your sister at that time, because, you know, my oldest son was locked up and stuff or whatever, but he just was like, he wasn't no street kid. He wasn't no street kid.
So let me ask you this: do you think like a Larry Hoover or another voice? Is there any voice that you think that could actually stop or maybe help Chicago at this point?
No.
It's
No.
just too far gone.
They too far gone. They can't listen to nobody. The young guys, the young ones think that the older ones is too old to be trying to tell them what's going on because it has stuff. See, like these days, these kids got it easy these days. They got everything at a push of a button. Back in my days coming up, we ain't had no push of no button. We had to go to the library to go do a book report. We had to look at encyclopedias and then dictionaries to do stuff. You know what I'm saying? These kids these days too spoiled.
They have too much access, yeah. It's crazy.
We didn't have technology. We had that one phone sitting on that kitchen wall. And we knew where that phone was at all the time. That way you see these, oh, y'all see my phone?
Right, right.
That's how you see the kids doing that. Like, technology.
It's to the point where I try to tell my daughter something, you know, try to give her some, you know, information. She go Google it after I told her just to make sure I'm right. I'm like, you supposed to believe what I say. You supposed to take what I say. You gonna go Google what I just told you? Like,
Yeah.
oh man, come on now.
Yeah.
Now I do want to ask, because you know we just recently lost about a week or so ago, FBG Cash, and we interviewed him like really a week before, and to see him saying that, you know, being in Chicago, he hates to have to look over his shoulder, and going back home and that happening to him, and then of course with Duck and everyone else that is praising Tooka's name, it seems almost if they're getting a mark on their backs just by, you know, holding down their brothers, you know, and keeping their name alive. When you say you would like for people to stop saying, you know, Tooka's name in a disrespectful manner, it seems as the one who are bigging up him and, you know, saying, keeping his name alive in a positive manner, the same, you know, it keeps the motion alive, as far as just, you know, the person who doesn't like it versus the person who does,
right,
who
and
wants
see, that's
it.
where it came from, because they started dissing Tooka. So then his guys felt like, oh, they can't talk about him. Then, you know, here they come with their stuff. Oh, well, they want to say this about, you know. My son wasn't even into the rap. I mean, he rapped or did none of this. None of it. But it's just like, it's a repeating cycle that I just wish all of it stopped. Like, find something else to rap about. You know what I'm saying? Rap these kids about learning their ABCs or washing their butts or, you know what I'm saying, counting or some stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? For real.
How do you feel, cause how old are you now?
I'll be 46 in August.
46. So you're an 80s baby. You've been through the 80s. You know kind of what the 80s was, early part of the 70s. Do you feel this drill era is worse than the crack era in Chicago?
Hecky, yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yes, indeed. This drill music stuff, it's taking it to a whole new level. I'm talking about they killing kids, mamas, you know what I'm saying? They ain't even letting these babies grow up, like, trying to get to another, then accidentally shoot a baby and stuff. Like, I don't get it.
So is it safe for kids to walk the streets of Chicago, like South Side?
No.
So it's not even safe. Like, is it like a time that kids need to be in the house?
Yeah.
Or just like, is it like, what are the rules for children that's, whether between 11 and 16, that, you know, how do...
They need to get the rules they used to apply when we was coming up. You know what I'm saying? You got to be in front of this house when them street lights come on. When it gets such and such a time, you come up these stairs.
Right. Go somewhere with this person.
Yeah.
You know,
walk them to the corner, make sure they get home and you come back, you know. But these days, like, kids don't have no, what I'm trying to say, no discipline, no drive about life no more. You know what I'm saying? We had a drive about life. Every day we used to wait, oh, we going outside, we go do this. We already knew we finna go play basketball, or well, we gonna play Piggy 1, Piggy 2 today, and I'm gonna be the back catcher today because I was on first base.
Right,
These kids ain't got no sense of direction. They don't know what a childhood is.
So are kids making plans after 17 from what you see? Like, are they planning, young men, are they planning like college? Are they talking 21, 23, 25?
Well, to me, that I've been seeing, yes, because during all this killing that they have been witnesses and stuff, they want to go to school so they can get away from it. You see what I'm saying? Get away from it.
What about the police presence in Chicago? Is there more police presence in your area? Like, do they, like, what is the city doing about? From what you see, what is the city doing about it?
We were just talking about this. Me and one of my good girlfriends. The other day, we were just talking about this in Chicago. When we was in Chicago, we had some detectives that didn't play no games at all. They done took the detectives away and put all these polices, these, you know, regular cops instead of the ones that's gonna get out there, chase Johnny down, get that gun up. You know, these, oh, well, okay, he ran that way, gotta get a car, and they lazy. They don't wanna do their job. So if they bring back like some of them detectives that we had back in the days that didn't play no games, I'm talking about, they need some help out there. I ain't gonna lie, they literally do it. The Chicago police definitely need some help. Cause them kids is outrageous.
Have you ever thought about leaving Chicago?
How you know that? Is you?
Yeah.
How did you know that? Look, do it like that.
Let me go ahead about this one.
Look.
They wild.
Man, yes, and that's one of the reasons because my youngest son, you know what I'm saying, my oldest son, he done already been through the war behind his brother, you know what I'm saying? My daughter, she done already felt the wrath behind her brother, you know what I'm saying? And seeing the hurt in them two, I have a 1-year-old. I don't want him to experience that same hurt. I don't want nobody blackballing him out because he's Tooka brother. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody to walk up to my son try to tell him nothing about his brother. You see what I'm saying? And that's where, I mean, it's all around the world, but that Chicago mess, before he get of age and try to, you know, alcohol swole, you gotta get him. Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anywhere you would like to go outside of Chicago? I know we mentioned as far as some vacations you've been on it. Is there any other cities that you're like, man, I would like to just raise a family there?
Yeah. Texas was one of them.
Texas is nice.
Yep. And I stayed Arizona.
I'm trying to go to Arizona. I'm trying to go to Arizona.
I said Arizona.
For real. It make you wake up and you just feel like I'm gonna get to it. I'm motivated.
Yeah.
Now, you know, we gotta touch on some of the stuff that's going on in the world. Roe versus Wade getting overturned, you know, with the abortion situation. Do you think that? How do you think that is gonna affect the black community as a whole?
Well, I feel like a woman should be able to do what she want to do with her body. Have many kids. If she can pay to provide for them, then she should be able to have them.
Yeah, but for them to say you can't cancel a bad decision, do you feel it's taken? I mean, or let's say they made an incorrect decision and something happened, or just something happened in life where you know they end up pregnant. Do you feel like that shouldn't be in the government's hands to make that decision?
No.
What do you think?
No.
So do you think this is actually going to deter people from having kids? Do you think it's not going to matter and people are going to just have way more kids?
I think like because of how expensive things is now, and all these diseases is coming down there, people is definitely gonna be cautious on trying to have a baby.
Yeah, I think abortion is gonna be.
You better
like,
jag it off.
Be like, yeah, right. put it in a napkin. I can see abortions becoming like BBLs and you know going off to the Dominican to you know get them done for 10,000. I'm just saying. I can see it going that route. You know,
right.
having it in the back of a trailer is getting bad. Now we were asking as far as as far as just with social commentary. Texas right now they did pass a gun law to where you could open carry in Texas. So those who are just over 18, I think you got to be 18 or 21 to buy a gun. I think 18. 18 to buy a gun. You don't need to get proper training. You can go purchase a gun and walk around with it concealed on you without having any harm coming to you by the law enforcement as far as it's legal. What do you feel that does if they open up laws like that?
They giving them the right to go out here and just shoot somebody. Tell them, give them the gun, just take all the bullets away. Don't tell them no more bullets. They get all the guns, don't give them no more bullets.
Yeah, there you go. It's funny because my partner Rook, he's in Europe right now. In Europe, no one walks around with guns. I mean, guns are technically illegal. You can't have them. No one has them, like except for the police. And crime rate based on killings is much lower. But America is a land of the free, and they do give the power to the states. So therefore, again, like even if you want to come to Texas, you might deal with a whole different situation out here based on just things like that.
Look, I'm all with that. I am all with that.
Listen, I'm trying to just get out and get going.
Yes, get gone. That's it.
For you yourself, I know you just you have technically a newborn. What was always your plans, not only for your children but for yourself? Like everyone has a path that they want to try to stay on until maybe kids get involved and things like that.
Oh yeah, I've been keep holding my job, keep holding down the steady job to be able to provide for my kids. So therefore, As I'm working, I could put money to the side like I didn't know nothing about this when them other kids, but now, it is, I promise you, it is totally different having a baby now than when I was younger. Like,
Totally
it is totally different. It's a lot of stuff I didn't know nothing about, but now my son has a bank account. My baby has a bank account now, so
Yes.
it's to save him, put his money to the side, so when he get older of age and stuff, like he can invest it and do what he want to do, but that's what I'm on.
Yeah, how do you feel about that? I feel like the black community is not really educated, to a lot of things as far as to, putting us in position of success. They don't seem like they teach us to in school, or if they do teach it to us, they don't really. They don't
give us
direct
the
it.
high
They don't
end
give.
of it,
They
yeah.
kind of just. How do you feel about that as far as the knowledge you learn now as you're older now? That you're like, if I would just learn this as.
Yeah, I think we got cheated, but like I said,
Yeah.
everything is at a push of a button now. We didn't have the push of a button when we was coming up.
Nah, that's facts. And people that you look up to, who are some people that you look up to, whether women, men, whether dead or alive? Who were some of your people that you kind of maybe listen to? Or
My aunts, my granny, my sister.
there you go. Your older sister, younger sister?
I'm the baby.
Oh, you know, okay, I forgot. Yeah,
I'm
you
the
are the
baby.
baby. I forgot. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's good.
I'm the
that's good.
baby, yeah. But yeah, it's like seeing them every day. Like when we come home from school, like we had to take them. These kids get to go outside and play in their uniforms and everything. Now we ain't get to do none of that
right.
stuff.
No, for real.
But yeah, seeing them, go to work, provide for their family, and still, enjoy life. That's what I want to do.
And for those that are just really vouching for you and like, just really, wanted to uplift you and just kind of get an idea of, who you are as a person. What is a day in the life for you, like in Chicago? Like I know, of course, work, but what is a day in the life for you? Like where do you find joy now?
Sipping my damn wine. Oh, I'm scared.
There you
I'm
go.
sorry.
Yeah, if you want to shout out, the maker of that wine, if you want to give them a shout out.
Yes, sipping my wine.
Shout out Barefoot.
No, I sip my wine, relax,
There you go.
put that baby on somewhere else, tune him out,
There
because
you
he's
go.
crazy.
Right. At least for a little bit.
Yes, you gotta have your meat. Ain't nothing like a peace of mind.
What you doing? You sit on the porch and you watching Netflix? What you reading? What you doing?
I either go in the backyard or I'll be in the front room. Because he be trying to take a cocomelon over and over.
Right.
So I'm tired of cocomelon.
Oh no, you ain't even hit the terrible twos yet. You about to go through it.
What terrible two? Terrible one.
I know. You ain't even hit that yet. You about to go
Look,
through
if
it.
you do not have a pandemic, baby, do not talk to me, okay?
Oh no, that's facts. We have to have a whole episode on pandemic babies.
Yes.
Pandemic, baby, that's going to
They so smart. My baby know his ABCs. He know how to count to 10. He know all the nursery rhymes, and he only 16 months.
Oh, yeah, he ahead of the game.
Yeah.
You got an iPad or something? He got a.
Yeah, I had to get him a tablet because he kept taking my phone trying to
Oh, yeah.
scroll.
Do you think that's making kids smarter? By the way.
No, but it's just keeping him off of me.
Yeah.
Look, I'm tired of getting bullied by a 1-year-old.
He gonna be 3-year-olds with Uber app with Uber Eats on.
Yeah.
In lieu of the verses, of the R&B verses yesterday, who do you think is the best male and female vocalist?
King of R&B.
Like who's singing in your opinion?
Wait, out of the who?
Just out of anybody.
Yeah, we had a Mario go at it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who do you think?
Who is yours?
You're like,
I love Mary J. Blige.
Okay.
I love
So you
Mary J.
gonna take me somewhere, man? Because
I love me some Mary.
I feel like Mary.
nah, don't do this.
I feel like Mary is great. She's very talented, and I love Starz.
Don't do this. Yeah.
I love Power. I love
Yeah.
Power, and I can't wait till the next episode.
All right, so you got the what man, like what R&B male artist would you just have serenade you, like if you just had the chance?
He locked up already for pissing on some women.
Listen, Robert.
Look.
He paid. Hey, so I mean, he's from Chicago.
Yeah.
So do y'all like have extra pride? Like, are y'all like really upset that he's in jail, riding away?
I'm upset that he's in jail because of this bull mess. Because them girls, I promise you, they did it. They did it. They mama co-signed for him to get that little cuckoo away. So he should not even be up in there.
Yeah. So you think he should be like a counseling therapy or something? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it was dead to him. He just repeating stuff, and he didn't get the right help to help him.
Yeah. I don't think
You can't cancel step in the name of love.
Yeah.
We can't do
We
that.
got a whole gospel album that we got to.
And sticking his keys in people ignitions and stuff like that. Yeah.
So who is the best artist to come out of Chicago, you feel? You got Kanye, Twista, R. Kelly. You got Common. Oh,
Jennifer Hudson.
Who?
Jennifer Hudson.
Oh, she gonna hit him with the Miss Hudson. See, you could put her on game. Okay. See, I didn't even know she was from Chicago. So shout out J Hud, man. You talking skinny J Hud or thick?
Both.
I just did both.
The in between.
Right, the actor, the singer, the all around American, all that.
Yes.
Man, so Dominique, I do want to know as far as what would you like to see for Tooka's legacy? Going forward. Again, I know we talked about movies, books, because again, this is all getting documented. This is history that is being made with what is going on in Chicago post 9/11, and your son is at the epicenter of everything. And what is you're raising your other kids, and you're getting older, and they may have babies one day, and now you're a great grandma one day. What is the legacy that you would like to see for Tooka? Overall?
Open up a foundation, like me, I love dealing with kids with disabilities, autistic kids, kids that a little trouble, you know what I'm saying? Because they not getting love at home, so, them type of homeless kids, do something. Because there's a lot of homeless kids out here too.
It's so needed. And no one's approached you about helping open a foundation out in Illinois and Chicago? No one's reached out to, man, we gotta fix that. We gotta fix that. So yeah, I wanna use platforms like this to, make sure we're gonna get all your information and put it there, but make sure they reach out to assist you, because sometimes it's just not having the outlet to be able to reach out to the right people, or having the right people talk to you to start pointing you in the right direction.
I'm not a social media person either.
And you shouldn't have to be. You shouldn't have to be to get these kind of things started.
I'm not. I'm only on Facebook. I don't do Instagram.
I'm a real person.
I don't do that Snapchat.
I'm gonna talk to my cousins, my family. My family know what I'm
doing. I'm just James. So.
Yeah. And it don't have to be you running it. All you have to do is oversee, making sure someone else who is running it is doing it in your honor and your fame. So we definitely want to make sure people reach out to you and definitely do it. So with that being said, how can they get at you? How can people reach out to you? And if you haven't started it yet, again, I want you to let us know, but do you want them to reach out to you on Facebook? Do you have an email for people? Or who can they maybe point towards to maybe get some information for you to be able to say, hey, I want to see that.
I'm trying to figure that out too. I'm trying to get it started somewhere too.
We gonna get you.
I'm trying to get it started somewhere too.
So you don't got to answer a bunch of phone calls. We're gonna make sure someone else answer those phone calls in your honor to make sure they're doing to push your name forward.
I always wanted to do that since my son got killed. Like open up something for these troubled teens. You remember we used to have to go to the Boys and Girls Club and stuff. They don't have that stuff. Teaching the kids how to swim and play volleyball.
Just get back to being kids. Get back to just not having to worry about looking over
your shoulders or who coming after you.
Definitely.
I ain't never had to live that childhood. Even when I was out there in these streets. I'm sorry. I never had to live that life.
Never had that. Nintendo. And,
that's the part about all who finna come and snatch this game control out my hand.
That's about
they just see me, look, you know how you get out and you still be trying to play.
Still trying to get, man, like, these kids, man. Have you, do you have either, like any type of donation, any type of foundation, any type of cash app? Because, we want to make sure.
I got a cash app.
No, we want you to say it if you know it. If you know what it is? You got your phone?
No, my phone over there.
Well, we're gonna definitely put it out there because we want for these stories to be told and for you
And
to
I
do what
would
you
love,
need to do.
yes, I would
Again,
love to tell them to save somebody's child, save somebody
Right.
else's family, to go from the heart, so they won't have to go through the heartache and grief.
Yeah, Dominique, you're just a working mother.
Yeah.
You know, you're just a working mother, as most mothers are, who got hit with a tragic situation to where now your situation is worldwide, and there's people, not even in this country, that is following what happened with your son, and they would like to help.
I love
So,
the support. Thank
Nah,
y'all.
definitely. We're gonna definitely
Team
put that
Tooka.
at the
I
very
love
bottom right in the
support.
description.
Hey.
At the very front, we're gonna create one for her that y'all know is going to her.
Yeah.
And definitely, we love to shout out people that do, come in to support. For those that do want to get at you, maybe follow you on Facebook or just whatever. Do you have any social media that they can follow?
My name is Dominique Boyd on social media.
What's your picture? Is it a picture you out on with some wine on the porch?
Yeah, I'm on the porch and I got a shirt on that say friends.
There you go.
Look, I love the backyard.
There
Ain't
you
nothing
go.
I'm tell like a piece of man, huh?
Talk to him, man. And as of now, do you have any shout outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, shout out to y'all for giving me this opportunity to come out here and speak about my son. I thought when I got with Dre and them, like, okay, this it. It ain't gonna go no further than this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Nah.
y'all,
Thank you. Texas is a home.
yeah, shout out to Texas.
Yeah,
guys.
we get a chance to meet you in person, and again, we try to have Southern hospitality here to where, if there's a situation, I want you to have our number. We locked in tight with Charleston. We locked in tight with Denisha, with Lashina, Mama Duck, Mama Snoop, Mr. White. We're locked in tight with them. So if ever you need to get at us and have a space to come in Texas just to get away, bring the kids next time, maybe.
Yes.
Just
Ain't
to show
no
them something
kids.
else.
A kid.
Yeah, a key.
Look, you talk about some kids.
Bring the grown ones too. Bring the grown ones too. Hey, listen. There's a place out. Hey, it's a rare. It's a place out here in Texas for you, man. So we definitely want to just say, first and foremost, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We appreciate your time. We appreciate your story. We definitely want to push the movement forward. There's a situation tomorrow. Mothers Against. Say it again.
Mothers of Peace.
Mothers of Peace. That's a movement that y'all are going to be seeing here just going forward, and we definitely want to make sure that we hashtag that. We want to run all that up, so definitely thank you so much, and it's a blessing.
Thank you.
You are a real life street star.
Thank you so much.
Tooka Mama Dominique. Thank you.
Shout out Reallyfe Street Stars, nigga. Move. Hey.